to another episode of the No Filter Tattoo Podcast. It's your usual host, me, Bryson, Tez. What's going on, y'all? It's been a minute since we did an episode, right? And today we got a special guest. I like to go ahead and hype you up real quick. So let me get the drum. But we got a phenomenal tattooer. I don't want to say you created, but you kind of like helped put it on the map, right? The Afro-Americana traditional tattoo style. You're located in Atlanta, Georgia. You've been on Inkmaster. You know, your accolades go on, and you just do really amazing work. So welcome to the show. How you doing?
Oh, thank you. I'm doing great. I'm really excited to be here, actually.
Glad to have you, man.
Yeah, y'all already know. Like, for one, I fucks with y'all just as individual people. But I don't know. Just since I've seen the podcast, like, I'm just a fan of just like what y'all are doing and shit like that.
I appreciate it,
right, man.
So
we found out what you do, and like I said, we appreciate you taking the time because I already know you're busy. And
my boy be traveling.
Right. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You out there.
Listen,
Also, I watched your YouTube interview. It was with this lady.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the Inkmaster?
No, it's not Inkmaster. It was like I think at the time you was probably 2 or 3 years in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a YouTube video. It was probably like an hour video.
We be doing our research.
Okay.
Oh yeah. You stalking me? Maybe.
I'd be talking to niggas, you know.
I just be talking. I don't know why I be at half the time. Hey, I like how you look. You was like, which one?
Like, huh? Like YouTube.
Yeah, that's a YouTube interview with you.
So yeah, shoot. Like I said, you know, we usually talk about tattoo stuff, and you know, we like to kind of shift the subjects here and there, so it's not the same thing, but just to kind of let viewers who don't know about you just get a little bit of info about you. Like, how long you been tattooing so far?
So I've been tattooing for 5 years. I just hit 5 years in May. It's actually funny. You know, y'all know Danger Dave. He was just, I was just talking to him recently. He was like, "Oh, it feels like you just came out of nowhere, bro." Like,
yeah. Honestly, when you came on the scene, it was like right before you did Inkmaster, but I saw you and I was like, "Oh, this style is dope. I like this." And it's real clean. And sure enough, it was like maybe some months later, you start blowing up everywhere. I was like, "Damn, it's well deserved." So it's cool to see someone reach the success that you've reached in a short amount of time.
I appreciate that, man. And honestly, like the reason that I kind of like blew up is because like when I went on to Inkmaster, when I first got there, and after I got eliminated and shit like that, I had basically the least amount of followers out of everybody on the show. Mm-hmm. I was at like 8,000 or something like that. Everybody else was at like 16, 22,000, 100,000, whatever the fuck. And I was just like, man, like, spoiler alert, I got eliminated first episode. But yeah, like after I got eliminated, I was like, man, like I planned on doing better. I wanted to like, you know, make it a lot further. And I was like, at the very least, I don't want to be like the first loser and also have the least amount of followers. So I was like, let me try to level up my fucking social media marketing and shit like that. Okay. So I was like, all right, let me get on top of my, you know, my reels, making videos, because I fucking hate making videos. It's always annoying.
Look like you're having fun doing it. Based off the
I'm having fun. I'm having fun now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You learn to have fun with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you that's kind of how you have to do social media now. You kind of like have to force yourself to have fun with it to be consistent. Cause
speaking of social media, I didn't drop your social media tag earlier. Go ahead, drop it for everybody so they can follow you.
So my Instagram, Aaron Davis Tattoos. That's across Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, I don't really use Twitter. I have like a little, you know, Finsta Twitter that, you know, I just be, you know, lurking on.
Sports on there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a whole lot of porn, honestly. But, you know.
It is. The comment section is crazy.
You touched on a lot of stuff I do want to get more in depth on. Mm-hmm. Because like you said, definitely want to ask a lot of Inkmaster questions and social media too, because you seem to have a great grasp on it. But I would say to the people who don't know you that well, describe like your style, like what makes it so unique. And first, how'd you find it first? Because I want that way we can shift into like how it all translated to everything else. I think that is important.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I call myself Afroamericana. It's basically traditional tattoos, but focus on black people, black culture, just things that resonate with blackness, just because, I don't know, that's just who I am. That's always the type of art that I've made. Even before I was a tattoo artist, I was a children's book illustrator.
Yep.
So, yeah, like...
How long did you do that?
I was doing that for like 3 years.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, how'd you even get started in that? Is it just something you did on your own, or you worked for a company, or?
Well, I used to work for a book publishing company out here in Atlanta, and like I would just I'll be doing the book covers and doing the book layouts, and whenever people kind of brought in children's books, I would just see the illustrations that they would bring in, and honestly, I would kind of look at them, and half the time they would be like really shitty. To be honest, they would be like somebody's 15-year-old cousin might have did some drawings for them and shit. And yeah, they just wanted to like make a
You can really draw.
Yeah, they be so proud, and I'd be like, yeah, these are cute, these look good. Like just I don't want to shit on people's stuff, but I'd be like, yeah, this looks good. Yeah, yeah, and I'd be like, yeah, this is terrible. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, I could if this is what people are like paying for, I'm like, yeah, I could do this shit. Like, why the fuck not? And I know at the time I was like, I know how to make a book from beginning to end, from the cover to the layout to making the fucking copyright page and putting all the text in there. I knew how to do everything. So I was like, oh, well, yeah, let me just market myself and just say, hey, I'm doing children's books, and that's kind of how I built up my career doing that. Right. I did like 12, 13 books for like different people. Did one for Lil Wayne's ex-wife, which was pretty cool. And yeah, so like with my children's books, if the author didn't specifically say like, oh, this is the race of the characters, I would just make them black, just because we needed more black kids in children's books anyways. And so when I got into tattooing, I kind of had that same mentality. I was like, oh yeah, like I'm black. I know that my clients are mostly gonna be black anyway. So yeah, like let me just really make some good black art. And I just kind of naturally gravitated towards traditional just because it's a fun art style to do. Like drawing it is like, it's just a good time for me.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I love traditional, but it doesn't seem like it's definitely getting more popular, I would say, in the black community, but it feel like it never has been big, it's like a go-to style. Like, even though I feel like everything about the style works well on all skin tones, right? So, like, why do you think it's like that, or it was like that?
I mean, like, I could only speak for myself and like the people I was around growing up. Like, we ain't never really looked at traditional tattoos and was like, oh yeah, let me put a fucking eagle on my arm. You know what I mean? Like that. Like, let me put a fucking clipper ship like on my fucking shoulder. It's like that's
wasn't really
not related.
Origin for our culture and stuff like that.
It feels like oh, that's some white boy shit. You know,
pretty much.
Like that's some white boy like whatever. You know what I mean? So that's kind of at least. How I grew up, that's how I think people saw traditional tattoos.
Gotcha.
The only time people would kind of fuck with that energy would be like Ed Hardy clothing and stuff, but that's a whole different. That's a whole different bag,
Right.
Like Rue 21.
Ed Hardy that was the era right there.
Yeah.
Everything bedazzled.
It's slowly coming back too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Everything works in cycles, man. It's crazy how fashion, hairstyles, everything, like even music, it just. Slowly, like, it just brings back the old and just mix it in with modern stuff. So, but that's cool. So, you went into traditional, then you kind of went and just brought in more things that related to you and your culture, and created Afroamericana. And now, like, how do you feel like it's grown since you've started? Even though, like I said, it's been around. I've known some artists, like Wes Holland. He's kind of always dabbled in it. This is more neo trad, I would say. Then you got other guys, but I would say you see bits and pieces, but not anyone who's like focused solely on it, like you. I would say.
And like I'll say, even with that, because like a lot of people do say like, "Oh, you created this style," and I'm like, "No, I didn't create it. It's just like
it's just your version of it."
Yeah, it's just the way that I did it, and it like kind of like what you were saying before. I really more so just popularized the name of Afroamericana because, like I said, when I started trying to draw traditional, I was like, I didn't even know that much about tattooing at that point, and I was just like, "Oh, tattooing seems cool. Let me draw some black people," and I was like. I thought like this has to be a thing. This like let me find other people who are doing traditional with black faces, black features and stuff. But it was so hard for me to find that, you know, because I didn't know how to. There wasn't really a good way to search it. You know, like if you search like Black American traditional, it don't really pull up the right
traditional
that
style.
stuff, you know, or just if you just do black traditional, you're definitely just gonna get like traditional tattoos that don't have no color, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, like I know that there have to be other people that are doing this. And I saw like, you know, maybe a couple flash sheets from just sporadic people. But I think in the 3 months that I was like first starting to really like develop this and develop my style, I only saw like maybe like 2-3 people that were doing it, you know? So I was like, man, let me just like kind of develop this name so I could help push it out. So people who are doing this style and people who are like wanting to find this style can easily Google it and search it and really have something they could really like hold on to tangibly and be like, okay, this is this style, you know?
Changing the Google system up, I see.
Yeah, you know, SEO, you know, all that shit. You know, I was an advertising major, you know?
I mean, do you feel like that's helped broaden
Yeah.
like your clientele base and build like your social media with
Yeah, definitely, like 100%. Just like people knowing, like, okay, yeah, this is the type of work that I want to do, and even just finding other artists, you know, like you said, Wes, that's the homie. I got like 2 Wes tattoos on my arm and on my neck.
Which ones you got?
This plus size painter on my arm, and then I have a woman coming out of a peony on my neck. But yeah, he's dope. Mahogany Shaw, she's up in Ohio. Like her work is amazing. My homie Mond, he's in Detroit. Like just like I've been meeting and run to a lot more people who do this type of style just from like really pushing out the name and just being like, hey, here's what this is, you know. And people, yeah, they've been sending me people who do the same work, either whether they're in here.
In other words, you found the problem and you decided to fix it, basically.
Essentially, yeah. Yeah. I'm very
Actually did something.
Yeah, I try my best.
Yeah,
I mean, that's all you can do, right? Actually put into action. So it's salute to you for you know putting in the work along with all the others, you know, and just seeing like the style grow in short time. Like I'm excited to see what it's gonna be like 10 years from now, 15.
Yeah,
probably be the original founder, man, like of that certain community.
Man, because I be telling people all the time, like I really want it to be where like any black person in the country, really in the world, could like go to a tattoo shop and be like, hey, I want some Afro-Americana, and they could find like, you know, a black artist or just artists in general who could be like, okay, I know what you want. I can do it. All right, let's go. I got you. You know,
Right.
because it's kind of crazy how many people who just regularly reach out to me. It happens like maybe like every week, every 2 weeks, who are like, oh, I didn't even like traditional before I found your page, or before I found like before I learned about Afro-Americana. Like this is crazy, you know.
A lot of times you like because like I said, we like to do traditional. We just don't get asked often for it, you know what I mean? And a lot of times when we do get asked, it's usually by like white clients, you know, because that's where, you know, most of the clientele is in traditional. But now seeing like the change is crazy, and I'm hoping like we see just more like full sleeves and just you know what I mean, because it's like it's really like you got your client Nick. Yeah, he you saw him at the convention, Atlanta convention. He all he gets is traditional, and you just see how good it heals up and how good it looks. It's just like, damn, like that style works, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's so like beautiful because, you know, there's always the talks about like, oh, black people can't get this, black people can't get that, and it's like nah, like stop bullshitting. For one, like a lot of people just don't know how to tattoo us, just period. And y'all know that, you know. We've all had to re-educate our clients and just be like, hey, that shit that white person told you, that white artist told you, like is some bullshit. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, and I think with this style, it's so bold and so bright and so like you could really see it. Most of my clients say when they were just walking down the street that people mention my tattoo on their body more than most of their other tattoos. You know,
line work, black, open skin, you know what I mean? So you're not trying to like blend like, you know, 5 of the same color, you know what I mean? Just
add white at the end.
You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of white. So it's just, to me, it's all the solid fundamentals of a good tattoo. But I don't know, a lot of days traditional is, I don't know, it gets kind of like hated on, you know what I mean? And I mean, I don't know, it's like you get the people who's like traditional is goofy and like anybody can draw it, but then it's like until you actually do traditional tattoos, you realize like, nah,
I definitely say
doing it.
You don't know how
clean.
you draw. Like shit, traditional can be hard.
Yeah.
You gotta try to make it flat and stuff. Like when I draw, like naturally, I'm always trying to. I guess I would lean more like new school, still kind of like anime too. So I'm trying to always give my drawings like dimensions and stuff. So trying to like simplify it and keep it flat, that hurts my brain.
Got to turn the brain on.
Yeah, and I feel like I started off like, pencil paper as like a realism artist. Like I think most people kind of do that. And I think as I've grown as an artist from doing children's books, doing just illustration, being freelance illustrator and stuff like that, my style has kind of flattened down a little bit. So when I went into tattooing, it's like I feel like the closest style that felt like the work I was already doing was traditional, and it just felt like a really smooth transition. And I think that the way that my brain works, like, I don't really do that well with dimensions. Like the way I think, like I think kind of flat just because I watch too many cartoons, too many anime, all that shit. So my brain thinks very flatly. I damn near failed 3D art in college because I just thinking in dimensions is just it's not my strong suit.
Like,
Everybody got their strengths and weaknesses. So
Yeah, but yeah, it's like I feel you. Everybody has their style. Everybody has their thing where they're like, nah, I like to do this way, and this is the best type of work you're gonna get from me. You know?
Yeah.
So I definitely feel that.
how often do you venture outside like your normal style? You would say.
Honestly, I only really venture out when it's like family and friends, honestly, because yeah, like if it's like the homie, I'm gonna be like, oh, you want a fucking realistic fucking dragon claw or some shit like that? All right, cool. Like just hop in the chair, whatever. Yeah, I got you. But most of the time, especially people that don't know me, like if they're coming to me asking me for my shit, they ask me for what I do, specifically. And I don't know, I'm kind of basic. I like to I like to kind of show off a little bit, and be like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, but also if I could just do lady heads and fucking cat tattoos and just red like Afroamericana shit like all the time, like I'd be cool. I'm happy.
Right. I mean, you making money, doing stuff that you like to do. What's wrong with that? So I don't like. To me, if you're doing well, there's no point to unnecessarily be like, oh, well, I need to change my style to this and that. It's just whatever works for you. Like some artists like to be versatile. Like I prefer versatility just because to me, I like switching stuff up, but I don't see wrong or right way. It's just as long as it works for you.
Yeah. And as long as you're having fun, honestly.
Yeah.
'Cause that's like really the thing. Because I think, I feel like everybody experiences this as a professional artist where you're working and you're just like, oh, you're not really enjoying the art as much, because you're working with the client's idea in mind and you're like, trying to bring their idea to life and you're not necessarily having as much fun as if you're just kind of doing your own thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, it's kind of weird. I don't think I had a lot of fun making art until I became a tattoo artist.
I mean, that's a cool perspective because a lot of times it's the opposite, right? It's like, people will come in like I did my art and now that I'm tattooing, I can't do what I love to do anymore. It's like, because you have to have that compromise to the client. But I probably agree with you. Like, well, me first, I always consider myself a tattooer first, then an artist. Like, even though I love art, I love drawing, painting stuff, but to me, all of that is just to supplement tattooing to me because tattooing is like my main
artistic
medium. Yeah. I don't know about y'all. How do y'all feel about?
Oh, I always tell people I'm an artist first.
I'm all around. I look at all of it as like different stuff. So painting, tattooing.
Yeah, I keep it all the same.
I just
level.
like art in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but it's cool how many different perspectives you get that come into tattooing. But it's cool to know that like some people like, hey, like tattooing was my favorite art form. Because a lot of times and I get it too. Like when you get to draw and paint anything that you want, And then when it comes to tattooing, it's like, oh, I got to do the same rows again, you know, that I've done 15 times before. But it's cool, like you said, that to hear that perspective.
But the one thing I do get out of tattooing is somebody can walk with it.
Yeah.
That's one thing I actually.
Yeah, it's like I always looked at it as like you putting a piece of you on somebody forever. So it's like to me that's like the ultimate like I guess you know I don't like thinking of people as like canvases, but it's like that's
I ain't gonna lie, that's a little narcissistic in my
really
brain.
is.
You know, I'm like, yeah, that's me right there.
yeah. I mean,
Also, it feels cool just knowing like somebody likes your work enough to put it on their body forever.
Yeah.
You know, that's like
Going to the grave.
yeah, that because there's like you know people could buy a print, you know, and just hang it on their wall, and you know they move and they might forget the print or like you know whatever it might get lost, you know. But like somebody's like, hey, I love your work, like change my body forever.
yeah.
That's crazy.
I guess the good way to say it is, it's like if somebody like do paintings and stuff like that, the painting can't tell you, oh, who did it, versus the person who's the canvas could say, oh, this person did it.
It's like you put a little bit of your essence in that person.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm with you forever.
Bring it with me, you want to.
Look at it. But honestly, like good tattoos can really change people's lives, like and how they feel about themselves. So it's like, to me, that's even though you may not be doing exactly what you want to do, but to know that if you did a good enough job, like that, like hey, like my confidence like skyrocketed because I got this tattoo or this and that, like that's a great feeling, like more than like you know me painting like a canvas that I got to do like you know whatever I want to do, which is cool, but it's like. Nah, like this piece of art really changed someone's life. So that's crazy.
And like even with me, like I never liked my legs. Like just growing up, I was like my legs are just skinny. I don't fuck with them like that.
I got skinny legs, dog. I don't know, man. I got.
Listen, I'm like I never like even showed my thighs before. I'm like all my pants were down to my knees and shit. Or all my shorts were down to my knees. But when I started getting my leg tattoos, I'm like, oh shit, this is cool. Let me show these bitches off, you know. And then you know my thighs is out for the summer, you know. And then I just I look forward to the summer now because literally my tattoos transformed the way that I feel about the lower half of my body, you know. And even kind of what you were saying before, where it's like. I'm at the point now where people, like I said, they come to me specifically for my stuff, and they're like, "Hey, I trust you. I like what you. I like all the stuff that you do. Like I have this idea, and you just run with it." So like now I'm really having a fun time making art because before. You know, like I said, I was working as a freelance illustrator, children's book illustrator. So my art was for their ideas. I was making art dedicated to everybody else, and not. It wasn't about me at all. You know, I you know, my name would be on the cover and stuff, but like the art wasn't about me. I feel like now
drawing their story.
Yeah, so now I feel like my tattoos obviously are about blackness in general, but they represent who I am, you know, as like as a black person who loves like anime and like as a black person who's like queer and just loves just like and I'm a pretty happy guy, so like I tend to have my tattoos like demonstrate that happiness and joy and like demonstrate that joy. So yeah, I don't know. My tattoos are basically an extension of me, and my clients are also very similar to me, honestly. Like like we be having a great time. You know, we be chatting about anime. We talking about just like I don't know, black social shit. You know, about like black issues and just worldly issues in general. Like just and I don't know, I feel like me and my clients are very similar in that way. So
Similar minds come together.
Yeah,
that's a great point. Like you probably created that like that safe space for a lot of people to come and get tattooed and feel comfortable with you know because they like you as a person. So that's cool that like your art showed that, but then it's like your art was just really the gateway to them getting to know you, and then it's like like you're cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I just want to get tattooed because.
Yeah, I feel like tattoos in general, like, depending on what you do, it attracts the type of person that you are too.
Oh yeah,
because even in the shop, you can see that like if Bryson Klein come in, it's like, that seems like Bryson Klein.
Oh yeah.
Sure enough, it'd be Bryson Klein.
We can guess like all the time, like, that's a Emily Klein or that's Klein, Bryson Klein, or whatever. But yeah, definitely, like I say, like 100% agree, like with the energy and the vibes you put out. those are the type of clients you're gonna attract.
Yeah, that
And,
shit comes back, man. And like
Yeah.
you're saying, like half my clients really just want to talk to me. You know,
Yeah,
they're just
that's
like
really it.
they love the work, but they're also like, oh yeah, you seem cool, you seem safe. You know, because I'm sure we've all heard the stories of like, oh, I went to this artist and they were on some weirdo shit or whatever.
Get it like
Too
3
many
times a
times.
week.
It's really disgusting actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a lot of times, yeah, my clients just wanna talk. You know.
I say me and Bryson clients like to hear me and him argue.
Yeah.
They get mad. They get mad if I don't talk to them.
Oh, why you ain't talking to Tez today?
Right.
Be like, y'all beefing today? Like, what's happening? Like, y'all.
Alan was kind of disappointed. We got a regular here like that we pretty much all tattooed that came last week, and I guess when he normally comes, like they're always like debating and stuff, and I know he was telling me like, man, they're not really as lively today as they used to be. I think y'all was just
I think
focused.
I give Lord Tez a break sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I do tell him every morning I wake up I
want.
want to aggravate.
See, you just aggravated, man. Like you just be starting shit.
Yeah, I known him for 15 years. I even told him. I said every morning I just say, I gotta mess with Tez today.
Yeah, the dark skinned brothers. I love it.
Hey, Kobe right there.
You
By the
gave
way.
it to him, man. Oh man.
You know how to give it to him today. You know. Oh shit.
Mind boggle that day.
Comment section about to go crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, dark skin, what?
It's
Yeah,
like
talk
what
about
the fuck y'all got going on?
Yeah,
Shit.
man. 2022, I got nominated, man.
Oh shit.
Let 'em
He
know.
did win an award.
Mhm.
I'm in the same boat with everybody.
But yeah, it do be kind of like weird because I've guest spotted at places where like I'm a talker. I'll talk to my clients, and if they don't want to talk, I'm chill,
Yeah.
But like there are a lot of artists who will just put on their headphones and really just zone out, and I'm
Too
like,
paranoid for that.
yeah, like for one, I'm like, that just feels weird. Like you just like I'm like right here tattooing you. I'm like right on your skin, and like I'm blocking you out. That seems like
Yeah.
I don't know. That just seems a little
If it
unusual.
works for certain artists,
Yeah, I mean,
understand.
And I get it. I'm not as long as they know ahead of time like that's your
Yeah,
process.
I would say yeah, like let them know like, hey, like I gotta concentrate. Like I can't talk and tattoo.
Yeah,
like,
I like to be able to be present. Like even if I'm not talking to the client, I do
same. Yep.
like notice little cues. Like okay, we all know tattoos hurt, but how much is it hurting at this point? Do I need to give this person a break? But you know,
Yeah.
throwing down your music and shit is like, it's like you don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just moving.
Yeah.
You're trying to get this shit done. And like, I understand everybody got their things. Everybody can't talk and tattoo at the same time. Like everybody got their different shit. But I don't know. It felt a little. And I'm not even a person that's like, oh, tattooers need to do this. But it did feel a little weird.
Yeah, man, go ahead, gatekeep, man. Let 'em-
just a little bit of gatekeeping.
right. But no, I definitely get like to me the connection is a valuable part of the tattooing process, and like even if you're not a big talker, because I mean I'm not a big talker, but I do like to conversate. Like I don't like block people out, so it's like I usually tell clients like, hey, like once I start tattooing, like feel free to ask me questions. Like I may be in the zone, but you could always start a conversation, and as long as you start it, I'm in it, and then. After a while, like, they start getting in pain, and it's like, okay, like, let me just start a conversation because I can tell they're hurting. And,
distraction.
need distraction. So, I'm like, well, you got any plans, this and that, and then eventually you'll find some topic to kind of land on. And to me, people, once you get in that convo and you start finding, like, things that y'all like and dislike or together or whatever that helps build that connection, and then that brings them back because they just like your vibes, So, because I had clients tell me probably same thing like, I went to artists, good work, but they didn't really talk to me the whole time, and I just felt like the vibes was off, and that there might have been nothing wrong with that artist, the artist might have been just like socially awkward,
Like all artists in the industry is usually introverts
A
anyway.
little bit awkward.
Yeah.
That's kind of a requirement for an artist, honestly.
Right.
He was the guy in the corner just.
But I mean, definitely tip the artists out there, like if you could just talk a little bit, that could probably like bring you, your return clientele up a lot.
Yeah.
Just ask them how their day was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because honestly, all my return clients are people that I just naturally vibe with and have
Chop it
good
up.
conversations with. Like, we'll be talking about how their boyfriend isn't shit, and like, how they, just got cheated on like 2 weeks ago, and it's like now they going through it and da 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead and break up with that dude, girl. Like, he's a piece of shit. Like, I'm like,
The amount of stories you hear.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Man.
told me to break up.
got stories for days.
Yeah, I got a lot.
It's crazy. Shit, we could go on for days because but
That's a whole other episode right there.
really, honestly, if y'all do some special episodes.
I mean, I was just thinking that when you said that, like, let's like tattoo client stories, just keep it anonymous or something.
Man, the other day, this is like kind of a side note, but the other day I was like in the shop and shit like that. I was like talking with another artist and shit, and I just see like a nigga kind of like looking from the front door. He's like kind of peeking in from the side, and I'm like, who the fuck? Like I'm like, nah. I get up. I'm like, nah, we're not doing this today.
Yeah.
But like we have like a cigarette ashtray by the door, so like I think he was trying to like just bum in the cigarette or something. Cause like as I got up, this nigga ran. He just started fucking sprinting.
Like he ran?
Nah, yeah, he ran. Like he just like he saw me get up, and he was just like, yeah, nah, I'm out of here.
It's funny at this shop.
Yeah.
All the crazy people come in the morning here. So when I tell them the stories, I be like, "Yo, this is what happened to me today."
Yeah, we done have some characters like you said. A lot of times been in the morning, but we done had some nighttime issues.
Just no morning give me PTSD, man. As soon as if I come in at 10, I lock that door.
Sundays, I don't know. A lot of times Sundays be the crazy people too.
You know them text messages I be sending you, Theo. This is what happened, bro.
Damn, not the crazy people on the Lord's Day.
Right.
I text him immediately. This is what happened. One dude literally like licked the whole door and spit and rubbed his spit on it. And I was like,
oh yeah,
You licked the door?
yeah, my client, luckily it was a regular client, and he was so nonchalant. He was like, hey, somebody's looking at the door. I was like, you know, I'm thinking he's saying like opening the door. Like,
it reminded me. You remember the homeless guy who
the manager?
Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
man.
So
Manager.
you got
Theo did me
tell
dirty.
The story, man.
Theo did me dirty, man.
He
He came back a second time. So basically, the guy, he came in. Oh, that was the first day zero, our guest artist. So one of my pet peeves is that we have a guest artist here. You know, we trying to let people know, hey, we ain't actually in a good neighborhood, by the way.
Yeah,
So, you know, no crazy shit happen. But every time a guest artist or maybe a first-timer person come in here, it just
Crazy
goes
shit
off the
happens.
deep
That's
when the
end.
weird shit happens.
And it was like,
Nah,
yo,
like,
this
why are you
ain't
trying to
us.
embarrass me,
Yeah,
bro?
like, this ain't us, bro. So this guy comes in, and he just starts shouting, like, what, 6'1"? He's like, hey,
Yeah, he was pretty tough.
who the manager? So I ain't gonna lie, I was a little mad at Larry Tez because he's sitting in the
I
back
wasn't here
drum.
at that time. So, but
Yeah, he was sitting in the back drum. So, you know, you wait like 4 seconds, like, hey, ain't nobody gonna answer. So I'm over here like, I got my client, regular client, thank God. So I'm like, all right. I say, I'm the manager. You the manager? You African American? I swear to God, he say nigga. It's on.
yeah, he's a white guy. So yeah,
Shit.
I was like, I swear to God. I was like,
Nah, I don't know what, like, cause like if somebody says, "Are you African American?" I'm like, what the fuck are you about to say right now?
Yeah.
What are we about to get into?
and Christian Hervey just brewing up, like, come on. Like, he said something. What did he say? Like,
I think he said he was like Native American or something.
he was like, he's Native American. I'm like,
what are we getting into, bro?
like, where we going with this, man?
Yeah.
And how did he come in here? He was
Yes.
he thought we was in cahoots with the pizza place, talking about
yeah, beef with
we
the
on
pizza
some
place.
FBI stuff, and
Yeah,
This
I
is like a
was
2 or
saying,
3 part story, right?
Yeah.
So we ain't even like this is
Yeah, he
the
was
first.
complaining about
Yeah.
That's crazy. The first half.
so I just basically told him, hey, bro, you gotta go.
But then that same day he came back shirtless, right? And then because he
I think you walked up. And then when he came shirtless,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah. So from every point on that we see him, he'd be shirtless. At
okay,
this point, but he came back shirtless, asked for you again, right? Because at that point he remembered you as the
manager.
He was like, "That's the African American manager."
Right. You also asked where the manager at. Then I want to say another day he came. It was just like me, Emily.
I was in Florida, guess
Yeah,
what?
yeah. He asked for the manager. I already knew who he was because he was shirtless, and so I was like, "Manager ain't here."
I said, ain't this kind of bullshit? They gonna tell me that shit. I said, oh, this bullshit.
I mean, obviously he's looking for the manager. I mean, the manager is you.
Like, come back on Tuesday, bro. He'll, he coming back.
Didn't know he was talking to the boss man.
That's
That's crazy.
That's the owner. He said manager. So, but long story short, eventually he started fighting people outside the shop one day. He's like, yeah. So he had beef with the pizza shop. I think one night he started throwing a chair at their door.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And then we have a barbershop next door, and then a guy from the barbershop came to try to like calm the situation down. He started punching the barbershop guy. God. So that's when we come out. It's like, all right, Aldo, you can't just be out here fighting all the people. We got to band together. So And I ain't gonna get into the details of what.
I found out a week later. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
We
We'll tell you off
we
camera.
we politely suggested that he should not come around here anymore, or there would be issues. And lo and behold, we ain't never seen him since that.
He got scared.
I was so mad
So,
because I left probably like 45 minutes early.
Damn, you missed all the action.
I missed all that.
all the goddamn action.
I probably never mind.
And
but
crack must be a wonderful drug, cause like the way
definitely
that
on something.
the way that people's the way that people's like just imagination be going, I'm like, what world are you in? Cause it's definitely not this one.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. We got crazy homeless people stories.
We-
I think every tattoo shop got at least like 3 or 4 good homeless stories.
Yeah.
Like,
We got some people not mentally stable coming in. It's like, all right, this ain't looking right at all. To the point where I just tell Theo.
right.
Matter of fact, that's a little side story. That was the one you posted this morning. That was a good example. It's like, you throwing me off right now. Like,
Yeah, it's like I don't trust this. Like,
Yeah.
what? You about to rob me?
Yeah.
Like, what's
Right.
going on?
hey, you
'Cause
being
this
weird.
nigga, he was doing laps in the parking lot too, and I kind of saw him at the corner of my eye, but I was like, oh, he in the parking lot, that's whatever. And then when he like looked into the shop, like I was like, nah, we made eye contact. I'm like, I looked at him, and I'm like, nah, I don't. This ain't the day, bro.
Mhm.
You better be safe.
Got
Shit.
the wrong one. All right, so let's shift the convo. Can you talk about Inkmaster? I don't know if contractually. Okay.
Well, I mean, probably. I mean,
all right. I mean, if you know, if it's,
I don't know.
I want to know the workings of Inkmaster a little bit, to whatever extent you could say, right?
yeah.
But so, all right, boom, you made it on Inkmaster. First of all, how did you get on it? Like, what was the secret to get past that interview process? I would say.
So like, for one, I was like, I didn't even really think that no shit was gonna happen for real.
Dang, so
Like,
you just over here just.
because I was always a big fan of Inkmaster. Like I've always been a fan of it. I still am today, actually.
Yeah.
So they emailed me and they were like, hey, yeah, we seen your work. We want to set you up for an interview. Da 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 da. And for one, I thought it was like fucking fake because I'm like.
Scam account.
I'm like, why the fuck is Inkmaster emailing me? That don't make no sense. But everything like seemed to like line up and shit. So I did an interview. I did like 3 rounds of interviews. Honestly, it was like, and honestly, I didn't even know I officially made it on the show until like a week before they were flying us out. Cause like they were basically like during the interview process, they were like, hey, so there's a likelihood that you could be on here, but no guarantee. So they were kind of like asking me a lot of questions, like, do you have your passport? Like they were, asking like, constantly like, okay, like what, like show us your personality, da da da. And then it got to the point where they did a psych exam and shit, and I was like, okay, if they're trying to psychologically analyze me, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna be on there. So I kind of prepared and was like, all right, let me not book nothing for a couple months and shit like that. And yeah, so they officially were like, hey, you got accepted, and then they flew us all out like a week later or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we got there. It was really surreal. Like they just they rolled out the red carpet for everybody. They were like, they picked us up from the airport. It was like, you don't got to pay for nothing. You don't got to do nothing. Just kind of just sit back, relax. We got everything. They gave us all like our own individual hotel rooms, mainly because they were scared of like fucking COVID and stuff. Because
Oh yeah. It's
before-
like 2021 or 22.
this was last year, 23.
23.
Oh, they made it quick. Huh?
Yeah. So like before, they all used to be in a fucking room
Yeah, I
together.
was gonna
basically
ask
like a
you,
dorm.
was it like a dorm situation? But that makes sense. Like everybody get their own space now.
Yeah, because
dope.
I think like the season before that, they had like issues with like a lot of people catching COVID, like whether it's the production or the artists or
gotcha.
whatever. So they had to like push back production a lot. So they were like, "Hey, y'all gonna stay in y'all hotel rooms and y'all
Like, did you get free roam time at all, or was you pretty much filming all the time?
we were
Like,
pretty much filming all the time. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
Yeah, so it's not
so
really
it
much
wasn't
free
too
time.
much time to like freely do shit.
Like, did you get to, like, how were like meeting the other art? Like, were all the artists friendly, cool, or was it like some artists were like, I don't really fuck with anybody here, or like?
So like when I first kind of went on, I expected half the room to be like assholes and shit like that. But surprisingly, like we all got along like immediately.
No,
Like, it
based
was-
off that crew, y'all look sociable.
Yeah, like it was like we still have like a fucking group chat and shit like
Yeah,
that.
that's
We
dope.
be talking and stuff. Like I'm like going to 2 conventions later this year to like link up with like a lot of people from
That's
the
dope.
cast and shit. So it was so weird because in reality shows you're supposed to like talk shit and
Right,
do all
right.
that stuff. And
I
I'm
will
like,
say this was the one season where I said this was less shit
Yeah, the
talking.
least
than
least
this.
amount of
Yeah.
drama.
The
I would
least
say,
amount.
Like,
Yeah.
y'all see-
Which I like. I was
Yeah.
like,
Honestly, this season, like, I know a lot of people want to shit on like Inkmaster because like, oh, it's fake drama, this and that. Which in the past it had
was.
some stuff,
Yeah.
but like this past season, honestly, was like the most enjoyable because I felt like it was the most focused on like tattoos,
On the art,
yeah, the
you
art,
know?
yeah. So
and also like I think like, and this is just my speculation, but I think like with Inkmaster kind of moving on, I think that they're kind of slowly getting away from like, oh, you have to tattoo every style to like
Yeah.
tattooing like
Yeah.
like whatever you can do as long as you kind of fit the mold a little bit.
yeah, I did notice that. Yeah,
Like as long as it's a good fucking tattoo, I
Yep.
think people they're more lenient towards people doing their own style and like really doing a great job with what they do and kind of spreading out a little bit outside of that and stuff.
and I saw that because I saw a lot of artists on there. I felt like this show was more like artists and the client because the artist straight will say, "Hey, look, I don't do this style at all, but if you let me do this, I got you." And I was like, "Wait, you could do that?"
I mean, I always thought that would been the smartest way.
Yeah,
to approach it.
but when you saw it, you was
Yeah.
like, "What?"
Yeah, because that gives you like the best tattoos for real, And I think pretty much every season the tattoos just get better and better across the board.
oh yeah, yeah.
Like this season easily had the best artists.
Yeah, everybody like.
Yeah, everybody was fucking cold as shit. I was nervous as hell going into
I
this
was
shit.
how nerve wracking was it tattooing in that environment in general? I would say.
To be honest, I was way more nervous before I got there because I was like, I don't know, I was
thinking
just
about everything,
Yeah, I was
right?
just kind of psyching myself out a little bit. But when I was in there, when I was actually tattooing, I kind of just got in my groove. It felt like I was just tattooing at my home shop and shit like that.
Okay.
And it was kind of interesting because, like I said, I'm a talker while I'm tattooing. So I was talking to my canvas and stuff. We were talking about a whole bunch of shit, like
You canvas
being,
for a person?
like being like he found out he was like autistic as an adult, and I was like, oh shit, I feel like I'm neurodivergent as well, and I want to possibly take a test and shit like that to see where I am on the spectrum. And then it was funny because my homie John, he was like right across from me and shit like that, and he heard it. He was like, oh shit, that's crazy. Like my son, he's autistic as well too, and like we had like a whole genuine, like really like
Really cool.
like cool conversation, and like it just felt just like love and like good energy.
That's dope.
I wish they showed it on screen because it was really like I don't know, it made me feel
This
good.
is wholesome. No, we can't show that.
Yeah,
shit.
no, it was like we need some bullshit, you know?
Play that music. Dun,
like-
dun, dun.
I'm guessing whenever drama happens, it's more so like producers like, all right, we put this person in this person room and y'all start talking about this tattoo or something like that.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Like, they have their kind of focuses of the episode and shit like that.
I got you.
So yeah, they and
So
they don't tell us to do any. Like they don't. It's not like a hey, you do this. Maybe they. I don't know. I
So a
was
lot of the reactions are genuine, you would say. Like,
Yeah. Or it's like everybody knows that you're on reality television when you're on there. So it's like you kind of flow with it. You kind of have a little bit of
Gotcha.
fun with it. It's
Okay,
like
okay.
some
You
natural
kinda cheese it up a
shit.
little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
no,
a
yeah,
teeny bit. It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
it's not like bullshit, but
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like, hey, let's do
entertain
some
people.
yeah, like let's do some entertaining shit. But like at the end of the day, like I said, we all fuck with each other, you know.
Yeah.
So even like the first episode, I was doing like a little bit of shit talking, but that's just because everybody was like really quiet and everybody was like nervous about like, oh, like I like David, I don't want to say nothing to David, or I like fucking Charlene, I don't want to say,
Let me see.
you know.
Tell you, if I see Bryson, me and Bryson's on Inkmaster, I'm talking shit like, I taught you and everything, but I'm about to really teach you today.
And Bryson gonna hit you with the, I'm light skinned, but I'm still a dark nigga.
Still a dark nigga.
Nah, I mean, I straight up like, bro, I know we cool. When these cameras turn on, just know I don't mean none of this. I'm just
Yeah, that's
we
kind of
gotta,
yeah.
don't if I
I don't
hurt
know,
your
man.
feelings,
Hey, look,
bro.
as soon as the cameras come off, Theo be like, "Hey, you really meant that shit, though?" Bro, what you like? I just said I was being fake. He's like, "No. I don't need you to see me."
Yeah, but no,
like
that's
how
the
you said
energy.
that.
It's like once the camera shut out, we just laugh and kiki and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like it's good energy. And like
Yeah.
sometimes people ask me like if I like hate Inkmaster now or something like that. I'm like, nah, like it was great. Even when I got eliminated, I didn't even feel bad, to be honest. I was just like, oh well, it's a cool
I mean,
experience.
to make it
you know.
to that level and to get that exposure, because I think the mission was still accomplished. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like you got a lot of exposure from that. and people got to see your style and who you were or who you are, you know, as a person. And to me, that's the biggest thing. Like, of course, winning it is always awesome, right? But just to get out there and get known for what you do is a great accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, because it's just nice exposure and stuff, and like just like you said, just to have people see who you are. Because even the most popular people like of all time on Inkmaster aren't the winners. You know, they're they're the people that seem like they're good people, like are people that they do cool art and they seem like they'd be a nice person to just hang out with and shit. Exactly. So yeah, it's life. Inkmaster was definitely like a life-changing experience for me, just from a mindset shift and shit too.
Okay, like go deeper into like what mindset shift.
Kind of like even with the whole marketing thing, where like it's kind of interesting. Like I don't think that I got many followers from Inkmaster specifically.
How many followers did you have before? Do you remember?
Yeah, I had like 8,500, like 8,000.
Now I think as of last night you like 83,000.
I'm almost at 9,000. I'm like 300 away from 90,000. Yeah. But it's like,
let's talk about this growth, man. What'd you do? What was the shift, man?
So yeah, like I said, it was just a mental shift. Like, because before I was like, I was like a lot of artists where I'm like, I don't want to make videos. I don't want to be a content producing person. Yeah. But like, I was like, I'm on Inkmaster. Like, I'm like that's a staple. Yeah. Like, that's just a statement that I could say now. So like, let me boost my engagement, boost my following. So over the like. The 3 months or whatever after I got eliminated or whatever, I was like, okay, let me make reels every day. Let me like, actually study content. Let me try to be really consistent with just focusing on what type of videos I'm trying to make and what type of like tattoos I'm trying to push out into the public and stuff. And I just kind of locked in, and I went from 8,000 to like 45,000 in the span of like 3 months. Damn. And that was just for me just being super fucking consistent and shit. Yeah. And then after I had like announced that I was on Inkmaster and stuff, I had made like a couple reels being like, hey, yeah, like I'm an Inkmaster and I'm not about to do the whole like, oh, the dark skin canvas is the worst canvas of the day type shit. So like people were like, oh yeah, like we fuck with that. And like I got probably another like, I don't know, like 20,000 followers from that or whatever. Okay. So like a lot of my followers came from before they even really like pushed me out onto Inkmaster and shit like that. Okay. I was even gonna say like, I don't know, the Inkmaster fans are kind of weird. They don't really follow the artist for real. They kind of like Inkmaster, but they don't like the artist on the show.
I do notice like it is a lot of like vitriol and like. Like toxicity, yeah. Like, cause you whenever they post on their official page, just like they just shit talking half the time. Like, how'd you deal with that? Like all the negativity. I just didn't
read the fucking comments. Like I still,
it's smart.
Like I know that there are like Reddit boards about me. Like, and really? I'm like, yeah,
like whole Reddit boards about you.
Yeah, like where people like, and the racists they like to show out on Reddit and stuff like that. But in general, honestly, Inkmaster fans like. Or at least the ones that be talking on the internet are pretty much trolls. They talk shit about everybody. It's not any one specific person. Yeah. They'll be like, oh, Jazzy's terrible, or oh, John did a terrible tattoo, or like Bobby is like, why is Bobby doing this and da da da. And it's like, bro, y'all can't do none of this.
All right, I was like, I read some of the comments, and it'll be like a world class artist. I'm like, oh, this artist is terrible, this and that, because they didn't do this and that. I'm like. Do you know like who you talking about? Like this artist is amazing. Like because like this might not have been their best tattoo ever. It doesn't mean that they're a bad tattoo artist. Like but like you said, people who get into these reality shows, they just I don't know. They act like the people on the shows aren't humans. Like
they don't see us as people for real. Yeah. Like they see us as just like. I don't know, just like walls of art or something like that. They think we're like,
you have an opinion.
Yeah. Right. And it's like, y'all know I see the comments, right? Yeah. Like so many people be like, oh, like these tattoos look like prison tattoos or something. Or like somebody was like, oh, I wouldn't let my dead dog tattoo or get tattooed by you. And I'm like,
that's like the amount like
I would like, job treating
right. It's like
is it treating you that bad?
negativity you gotta have inside you just to go on Instagram and be like, you know what, I'm about to just say the most like hateful shit I can think of.
What's really
Because
going on?
even when I don't like somebody, like I'm not about to go on their page.
Yeah,
and
I don't
talk
do
shit.
that.
I'm not about
Like,
to waste time.
Trust me, I got shitted on before on the internet.
oh really?
Oh yeah, go
About
ahead.
900 people.
Damn.
Well, what happened? What happened there, man?
Basically, I did like tattoos on this
it's
dude's
like
hand.
Toyota?
Yeah, the Toyota. They came after
No,
my
it's
ass.
a tell-
You did
all
a
right,
Toyota on
let's
somebody,
go
or-
more
Yeah,
in
the
detail on
emblem.
this. So, there's this guy, great client. We shout.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Uh,
We gonna edit that out. Never.
Nah, don't ask me none of my clients' names.
he,
Like-
you know what's crazy? He get his haircut right over there.
But
like
you know
every
who
month.
you are. But he came in. Was it his
His first tattoo.
first tattoo? And we tried. Like, you sure you want to do this?
I didn't try. I was like, you want to do it?
Okay, never mind. I thought Bryson said, all right, fuck it. Bryson was.
That was
on
that.
the troll
That was
shit
that.
day.
Out of that apprenticeship.
Yeah.
3 months in, I'm like, I'm taking anything that was.
But you did that Toyota symbol right on his hand, and then
Yeah,
it was
Atlanta,
emoji.
Georgia, never fold, stay solid.
Yeah, and then it was the Toyota symbol, and it was what, emoji on the other hand.
The coffee emoji,
Yeah.
the Toyota symbol, the 100 emoji. And
I already
He's a
know
cool
what this
guy.
person
He's
looks
cool as
like.
hell, though, bro.
Even like from you just describing the tattoo, I'm like, I know exactly what this person looks like.
Honestly,
I
you
don't
won't.
think you
No,
do.
you don't. I'm sorry, you won't be right. What do you, we can talk about this off
You will
camera.
be
We'll show you.
surprised.
Yeah. But nah, it's definitely shout out to him, man. He's a unique guy, real positive dude though. But you know, he posted on Facebook. You know, Facebook is like the worst place on social
Oh, yeah, it's a
media.
dumpster fire.
Yeah, so of course went viral.
Wasn't it like a car group or something?
oh yeah,
Not in the car group. That's
Yeah,
oh,
and you
shit.
already- So, you know, everybody's piling on, talk shit about him, and talk shit about the artist. Like, what they say? What's some of the
they
stuff
were
they
talking about
said?
they gonna beat my ass. I'm like, shit, pull up then.
Like, it's just wild, but it's just
But
funny.
everybody in the comments that I was looking, I was like, bro, y'all look like y'all just hate life.
Yeah,
Like
but
when I looked
then
at,
they, like,
you know, you click the profile pic, you're like, this really you?
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, because the people that really be talking shit really have the most depressing lives ever.
Yeah,
Like, 'cause
yeah.
if you happy, you ain't got time to talk shit.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, that's really it.
But yeah, now people just, like I said, I guess that's their escape, but I don't know, man. I feel like you would live a better life if you aren't trying to spread that
You go
negativity to
Yeah.
other people, you know? So was that what you were expecting?
Nah, not at all.
Nah.
He seems nice though. He
Yeah,
really
he's a
does.
real cool
manager.
dude. Yeah.
Huh?
corporate manager.
Oh,
he's
wow.
he's super nice dude. Like
Alright.
he loves the tattoos. Shouts Bryson out. Shouts to Shop Out.
He does
Shout out to
every
him,
day.
man. Yeah.
Like, that's what I say, man. I'm a ride for him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If it's 900 people and it's just two of him,
I
I'm
ain't
with
gonna
him.
lie, that's how you need to do.
Yeah.
Like, cause like even some clients that are like weird, I'm like, you cool.
Yeah.
You weird, but you cool. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and
And what's crazy, he stayed to himself. And
yeah.
all he posts on this page is just positive vibes, and people just be in the comment, you suck. Damn. I be in there, like, I'm with you, my boy.
Right, man.
But yeah, people are just really negative. Like even like outside of just even like Inkmaster fans, even like tattoo artists are just negative. As
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Like I know you be on threads and
Oh,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
Like that's
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I be kind of trolling too, but it ain't like look. Look. I'm not
I
like
saw one of them.
look. I don't shit on people just to shit on people, but if I feel like it's more so it's like okay, this person is shitting on other artists, and I don't really like how they did that, so I'm gonna shit on this person because like you
Oh,
know,
yeah, I've
it's
seen
like,
you
it's
do
like
that.
if someone's bullying someone, I'm like nah, I'm gonna bully you. You know, so that's kind of how my perspective is. I don't just
I
bully.
like that.
Yeah.
Bully to bully.
Yeah, yeah, you know, it's fight fire with fire. You know, but
And I was just thinking, even going back to the social media shit, there's certain periods where I'm like, oh, this specific thing boosted my following. So I think I got another 10,000 followers from being on another podcast, the Honest Tattooer podcast.
oh yeah,
where I
shout
was-
out to John Mason.
Yeah.
and, their podcast. Super
and
dope.
like I was just saying,
yeah, I remember
like,
that went viral. That was
Yeah.
I even commented on that one. I think that was about traditional tattooers having more black skin in their portfolios, right? Or,
yeah, it's just because like I was just like one of the hosts. He was basically saying like, hey, I was saying like, oh, people should have more black skin on their page.
How
And
will
he
we
was
know?
like, he was like, oh, how do you go about doing that? And I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, if you want to have more black skin on your page, I'm just do tattoos on niggas. Like just do like like just either like free or like reduced price tattoos. Just if you want to just like if you want to do that, I mean, then that's a way of doing it. Kind of like,
and that
just
translates
like
to
you get
all
all the rest of your
tattooing, too.
clients,
Like,
yeah.
exactly.
like if you want to get into anime tattoos,
Exactly.
you know, do some free fucking anime
Yep.
tattoos. It wasn't. I was just like,
people just take it one way and think like, oh,
Why should they get a discount? You didn't hear the message.
like my like yeah.
And you know, people just being, you know, racist and being like, oh, why would I do that? Like, I could tattoo anybody, but also like, you know, tattoos don't show up well on black people, or you know, like you can't photograph black people with tattoos.
Like, that's the comment that kills me. I'm like,
you don't work with black people.
yeah.
And honestly, I'm glad that y'all are outing yourselves, because all the black people in the comments are agreeing and being like, yeah, no, I'm not going to nobody if they ain't got no black skin on their page. But like all the white people are like, you know, trying to, you know, defend their racism. And it's like, listen, I'm not trying to force y'all to tattoo black people. If that's not your...
Nobody's saying, I mean, maybe some people are, but I don't think any one of us or anybody who's really talked about it is saying that. It's more so it's like, don't make a excuse of like, well, I don't have any black clients.
Yeah.
But it's everything is cause and effect, right? It's like, if I don't have a certain clientele, it's probably because I don't post this type of clientele or these type of tattoos that will attract that clientele. So it's like, if you want to, then that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know?
And like, unless you live in fucking like Montana or something.
Yeah.
Like,
You know,
like there's black people everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, there be niggas all over the place, you know. So it's even like, you know, being in Atlanta, it's like if I see a person portfolio and they tattoo in Atlanta and they don't have no black people on their page, I'm like, you at this point you're really being like, you're actively avoiding us, because we're half the city.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like that's kind of impossible, honestly.
It really is.
I also feel like, especially tattoo artists in Atlanta, when they hear those comments like, "Oh, you can't take good pictures of the dark skin," it's like, but I know so many people that do.
Right.
Like I actively do.
Right.
Like,
I look at, like, I know you use a CPL because you got that shit turned to the max on, you know what I'm saying, on the photos you got, you know. So why can't you just apply that same CPL lens, special lighting, the black skin? It'll work the same.
It's real. It's honestly, it's real
No different.
easy. Like, to be honest, a lot of people, they have, you know, complaints about tattooing black skin, but like, as somebody, I tattoo like 99% of my clients are black. I tattoo maybe like one white person every like 6 months. I don't think I've tattooed a white person all year, honestly.
Oh, damn.
So like, as somebody who regularly tattoos niggas, like, it's not hard. Like, it's just y'all just ain't used to it, and like y'all just making excuses. So y'all on
You gotta
bullshit.
have the desire and the want to do it. And to me, that's the biggest thing. It's like, if you don't want to do it, that's fine, but just don't act like you're like, oh, you know, I want to do it, but it's not possible. It's like, no, it's possible. You just don't really want to do it. So just be real. Like, all right, like, nah, fuck it. I don't want to do it. I'm like, okay.
And just be real.
Yeah,
you
like,
know? Cause like, you know, don't make black people feel bad about their skin because of your inadequacy. That's really the main thing. Like, if you don't know how to do something, it's fine. You can just be like, hey, I don't know how to do it. You know, and nobody even is gonna get mad.
Yeah,
you know?
That's all you have to say.
Yeah,
It's
like,
that simple.
yeah.
Like,
so-
I'm not gonna say, hey, look, I can do some dope calligraphy lettering. I'm like, nah,
I'm quick
about to go to thefont.com. That's what you're about to do.
yeah.
but I know a guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know.
That's what I always do. I always refer. I say, I can't do this, but I can show you this. As soon as I pull up the Instagram, wow, I even showed your page a couple of times. Wow, in Atlanta. Go straight over there.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I appreciate you, but
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
people, I don't know, they be afraid to say the words "I don't know."
Yeah.
And it's like that's not a bad statement. Honestly, it's better for you to say "I don't know" than to like
Have the
like
bad
really
tattoo
shit
on.
on people and like really shit on a whole demographic of people because of your ignorance. You know, so yeah, I don't know, those type of artists, they're losers.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm glad that at least that post, people were outing themselves as fucking racist losers. So like other black people could be like, oh yeah, nah, I'm never going to you. You know?
Yeah.
I didn't even have moments where I was like, you know, this artist right down the street. What? Oh, let me give you all the information.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love some shit. I was actually like sharing like your page was like one of my clients as well too. So it's like,
Oh, man, I
yeah,
appreciate that.
and yeah, it's. I don't know, I'm very much a person. I like to share people's
Yeah, I
stuff.
share.
Like, I share
Same.
all y'all's like shit all the time. Just because y'all do dope work, I want more people to see all of y'all's work.
We appreciate that.
Just because we're all a community at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're all allies.
It's enough
Yeah.
for all of us to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So one more Inkmaster question before we end that. But there's like artists out there who would say like, all right, if you go on Inkmaster, like you're a sellout to tattoo industry, right? Like, what do you feel about that?
I don't know. I just feel like you're sad. I guess like I mean you're a hater. Because like I don't know. Like what's like.
Most people that say they want to be on there anyway.
Yeah.
It's like at the end of the day, it's nice exposure. I mean, it's like it's a fun time.
Yeah.
I know some people like have a terrible time on there, but that's just them. But like,
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's like my career is my career. Your career is your career. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're a sellout because like you did this specific thing or you worked with this with these people or you worked at this particular shop
Right.
or like because I don't know sometimes. Like people, I don't know, they have their own things in their head about like what they need to do to be successful.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person where I'm on my own path. I'm gonna be successful regardless. I just need to do good tattoos and just like be nice to my clients.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, I need to work in the most prestigious shops with the most history, and I need to work with only these caliber of artists, and I need to fit in with these artists. So I'm gonna talk shit about other tattooers and be gatekeepers, and whatever. But like, I don't know, just your career is your career. Like, focus on your shit, and stop hating.
Yeah. That's well said. It's that simple.
Like another thing about being on Inkmaster is like knowing like these people, like the artists who are the at the highest pinnacle of tattooing according to the industry, they're just regular fucking people.
Yeah.
Like they're really like human beings, and whether it's clients or the tattoo artists, like a lot of people put these tattoo artists like they're fucking rock stars and that there's something on some greater status, but it's like, nah, they're just regular, degular
People.
fucking human beings. Like even when I, went into the lobby and met all the artists for the first time, I only knew one person. I knew John Messer because I had watched his podcast before even I knew that I was going to be on Inkmaster. But like I met Bobby Johnson. He's just a cool person. One of my favorite people off the cast and shit.
That man will not let you walk away when he
We
talk.
met him at the Winter Symposium by Diana. Yeah,
Talked about anime the whole time.
Yeah, he's great. I love him. I love him with a passion. But I didn't know how big. I didn't know he was like a big deal. I was just like, oh yeah, that's Bobby. And then everybody was like, oh, like that's Bobby Johnson. Da da da. And I'm like,
Bobby Johnson.
it's literally just Bobby. Like chill the fuck out. Like, but yeah, people they're just weird. And even when I went to the convention, like a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, you're Aaron Davis. Like I love your work and da 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 da. And I'm like, oh yeah, thanks. Just like, had a little conversation and just like, yeah, like if you want a tattoo, let me know,
We glow like a sun or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like people would be like, oh, you're so. Like, and I'm like, and people be like, oh, you're such a big deal. And I'm like, I'm literally just a nigga. Like, I'm like, I'm just a fucking human being that just does. I have a cool job.
Yeah.
That's really it. Like, I have a cool job and I'm good at what I do.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
this job makes us look a lot cooler than we actually are.
That's what I always tell people when they first meet me. Just treat me like I'm just a cousin. Like, and that's really how I give off. I give off like cousin vibes. Like, bro, I've been around you. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah,
You're the homie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I tell people I'm regular as hell, man. Like, I tattoo, play video games,
Work
watch
out.
anime, work out,
You be
chill with my
in-
family. That's it. Like,
in the house most of the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Man,
I like
be
sports
booed
events.
up. Yeah.
Like sports events, going out to see
oh
sports.
yeah.
That's why I always say, no, I'm a sports guy at heart.
Honestly, most of my time, like if I'm not tattooing, I'm just with like one of my partners and shit like that. And I'm poly, by the way, like polyamorous and shit. But yeah, it's like I'm at the house, I'm chill. I'm very much a
You feel
homebody.
you being like poly and like you putting out like your queerness and everything like that. Does that draw in a lot of clientele?
Yeah, because
of
like
that same ilk, you feel like?
yeah, because I think it kind of adds to the whole thing of like, clients being like, oh, this person is just like me. So
Okay.
now I feel a little bit closer to them. I want to get tattooed by them. Like, I'm sure, like y'all clients like knowing that y'all are fucking nerds. Like,
Yep.
they'll be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Like we have something in common. We got that connection,
Mine's is like One Piece. Once they find out, they like, and I'm up to date. They're like, oh, like the nits and gritty of this show. Like, oh yeah.
Because that's a mark. That's like that says something.
Mhm.
You're dedicated. So like I'm like we could talk about some One Piece shit because I'm caught up too.
Oh,
So
manga or anime?
on the anime, I stopped
Okay.
reading the manga,
Nice,
but that's a
man.
whole.
One Piece.
We could turn this into a nerd podcast, but like we're gonna keep it to tattoos, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like that connection is so important for people because most of the time, people don't really care that much about how good their artist is. Like,
I mean, that's really real. Honestly.
yeah, like if somebody's artist, if they feel like their artist is nice and they having a good time when they get there and their work is good enough, that you have a regular at that point.
No, for real. It's like before.
They came for a good time.
Yeah, exactly. I would say before I got good at tattooing, like all the clients that just like stayed with me throughout the years, I'm like, I don't know why, but I appreciate it, man. Just treat people right, and like you said, you got a client for life.
Like I told people, I had to reverse. They was like, "Oh, you're such a good people," but no, I need my artwork to keep up with my personality too. Because I was just like, I need to get on this level, so now you can have the dope experience.
Yeah, like a full round.
You get dope work and you get a dope person.
Yeah, because I mean, we all suck at the beginning. Like I've never seen artists that was like immediately good, and even if they show that on social media, they still had all the months of like practicing
Right.
and
And
all
they show
that
all
shit.
the mess ups and failures to get there, right?
Sharpen up them skills.
So yeah, it's like we all suck at first, but like like it's
Be a
about the
good person.
vibes, you know.
Right.
Actually, when I was, how some people just say, just take them and they don't need to know how you do it. I was actually telling them the truth. I was like, so I just started and I don't know how to do this. They was like, oh, I appreciate you telling me. Just give me a name. I was like, and I actually got more clientele like that.
Yeah. Or they might just be like, fuck it, you can practice.
Yeah.
Like you practice on me. It's
That was
cool.
it didn't happen as often. But I did a lot of name tattoos in Illustrator.
Yeah. Everybody wants a name. Everybody wants their boyfriend's or girlfriend's name. Shit.
Don't do it.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea.
But I mean,
If you're
each and
25 and
them,
up, I'll do it.
I mean, if you want to do it, just get it done well.
Get it done in red.
Honestly, it's
that,
kind
I mean,
of.
that's smart.
There was this one time, one of the apprentices that at the shop that I was at before, she did this this girlfriend's name on this girl, and like 40 minutes later, she called. It was like, hey, so do you do cover ups? Because we just broke up.
Damn.
And it's
That's
like,
Oh, so it was one of those, she was probably already broken up. She was just trying to rekindle it with the name.
I don't even know what the fuck
A
was
lot of
happening, but
times,
it's like,
I feel like when they do that, it's like their relationship is kind of like on a rock.
Yep.
Yeah, and then like this is the last ditch effort, like, and then like you said, like she probably was like, this is gonna work. Like,
it's like,
oh,
nah, it definitely didn't work. It's like, bro, like she just broke down the station. Like, goddamn.
Was the significant other with her? Or?
I don't even remember. I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
She
that's one of
might have
those.
been though. I don't even
on her-
remember.
went on
But
her
yeah, I
own.
just remember like, bro, like I'm like, she was calling me. She was like, hey, is there a way to like handle this? And I'm like, nah, she just got the tattoo. Like, like
yeah,
what?
you
Like,
gotta
black
you
in
gotta
it.
live with that for at least
Yeah.
a good 2, 3. I'd say even more, maybe 4 or 5 months before you want to think
something.
about.
I was like, maybe you could just like take a fucking bristle, like a goddamn, like, and
I
just
mean-
like scrub that bitch or something.
Yeah.
Sometimes that'd be a red flag when you like get a phone call like that. Now it's like you very indecisive. You rushing into things, not thinking. Now you about to make it my problem. About blowing my phone up. Why you ain't doing this yet? Science, skin got to heal. Scar tissue, all that.
Yeah, you gotta listen to your artist, man. But
Yeah, that last week,
at
didn't
all.
we?
they don't. I mean, not every, a lot of them do, but
Yeah.
A lot of them do,
the
but
ones that don't,
You remember them well
Yeah.
because they leave an impact. Like you really not listening.
like does it bother y'all when people like before they kind of book with you and they just don't be like when you could tell somebody hasn't even looked at your page to try to even like figure out like
what-
shit.
Oh,
do
yeah.
you do like do you do traditional tattoos? And, like,
Or like,
why'd you email me? Like, I don't.
yeah. Or it's like it's crazy how many people ask me like, oh, what city are you in? And I'm like, Atlanta's the first word in my bio.
Yeah.
Like it's actually the very first. You didn't even try to even look at my page or like
Not at all.
or like recently, like I've been posting a bunch of like black and gray tattoos just because that's just what I've posted recently, you know. But I have I do a lot of color shit. If you just like scroll past the first 9 posts,
Right.
and people they'll be like, oh, I didn't see any color tattoos on your page. Like, do you do color? And I'm like, all you have to do is just scroll up one time.
I learned.
You ain't try to research me at all.
Yeah, like people will not scroll to the bottom. Like you'd be lucky if they get like halfway.
Like you said, top 9 photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really about it. You got the very front page, and that's really about it. Yeah.
Nah, for real. So this is like this last segment we want to do before we close out the episode. Is we started the last episode, but I think it's pretty fun. It's just kind of like rapid fire questions. So I'm just shoot at you a lot of like simple questions, tattoo related, and you just give us the answer kind of quick. I had a time limit last time, but I was like, I'm gonna take it off this time.
Get stressed out when
yeah,
they hear like, oh, you got 5 seconds. Like,
right.
oh, shit.
So, but just little quick bangers. So just to kind of get to know your opinions on a lot of things. So all right, we'll go ahead and start though. First one. Coils or rotaries?
I'm a rotary man. I started off using coils, but like I need to save my hands.
See, I mean, I respect that. But a lot of traditional artists are like loyal to a coil, so it's interesting to see a trad guy.
Listen, I'm like, you could do good tattoos with any fucking machine.
Yeah,
shit, I don't give a fuck.
That's the goal.
All right, black and gray or color?
I definitely want to know this answer. I definitely want to know this.
It's funny because on my body personally, I like black and gray, but I love doing color tattoos.
Okay.
I understand that.
Yeah, I understand.
Fully. most except for this one, most of them just like black and gray. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
fight for that one.
It's just something about like when I look at my body, I'll be like, I have a couple color tattoos, but I'm like, if it could be black and gray, I'd get it as a black and gray piece. But like, I don't know, like, and with my clients, like, I'm only 5 years in, right? So like, there's certain shit that I'm better at than others. Like, I feel like I'm better at doing color than I am at black and gray because I feel like black and gray is a whole different skill set. Like, it's not just like
Absolutely.
color is just like make sure I pack the shit in. Like, okay, I need blend it properly. Like, I could do that fairly, not easily, but like I'm used to it. Black and gray, you have to like finesse that bitch. Like, you have to worry about pressure and like all of that. Like, so like when I see y'all doing like cold black and gray, I'm like, damn, that shit's so fucking smooth. Like,
But I will say, I do 3 colors back to back. I'll be like, where that black and gray at? I need a break.
Yeah, black and gray is to me is less stressful than color.
Yeah.
Just because it's like you don't have to think about whole color palette and blends and how it's going to heal long term. So
Stay out that sun, put on sunblock.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like black and gray can get complex, especially if you like know the different techniques of shading with black and gray. Because you got stippling, you got the smooth black and gray, you got the like the kind of like heavy contrast. So it's like if you actually dabble in all that, it's like it kind of gets just as complex though.
it can.
Yeah.
But I mean, I stick to my lane in black and gray. I ain't gonna lie to you.
it's like, this is my bag. I'm not moving from it.
All right, what's the next question? Drawn on paper or iPad?
Oh, definitely iPad. Like, see, like when I started out tattooing, I'm very different than how I am now. Because I was so used to just drawing on paper, drawing on my flash, just using like little micro pens, and I would shade with like fucking color pencils, just because I hate painting. I really do. Like, I'm not a painter whatsoever.
It's tedious.
It's super fucking tedious. But then one of my homies, like, he was just selling his iPad for like $200, and I'm like, why not? Let me get this. I'll try out fucking Procreate, see how that goes, and my productivity got so much faster. Like, it took me like maybe a week to do a flash sheet, like on just like paper and pencil, because I had to sketch, and then I had to draw, and then I had to scan it, bring it into Photoshop, clean it up, all that stuff. Yeah. And with an iPad, I'm like, bro, I could knock out a flash sheet in like 2 hours, like, depending on the shit, So
it's definitely a lot more streamlined, like you said, and more just for like productivity purposes. I can't say
And it's
that
quicker
word.
to
but-
fix errors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
big
yeah.
facts, yeah.
Swap the color out if you want to real quick. Like it's so many. There's a lot of advantages. I ain't gonna lie, but I will say I just love the feel of drawing on paper. Like that's to me that can't be replicated.
I get that. If I'm like, honestly, I've like as a relaxation thing, like
Yeah,
I've been like just getting back into just like just drawing with like crayon on paper, just as a, I don't know, as some like art therapy type of shit.
Yeah,
Honestly,
me now, like if I'm on paper, it's strictly just sketching, like, just rough shit, like nothing clean or anything. Just get an idea down.
yeah.
If you had to only tattoo one style that's not your current style for the rest of your tattoo career, yeah, what style would that be?
I kind of want to say anime,
That's what I thought it was.
but like
Yeah.
I'm also like, see, one thing I really hate is spoilers, right? So like I hate
Anime tattoo spoilers.
yeah, cause like tell me how like before I had fucking the last episode of Attack on Titan came out, I saw a fucking tattoo. I'm not about to say what the tattoo was, but it was a tattoo about the end of the show
Did you do that one, Bryce?
Yeah.
I
No.
saw his tattoo right there.
Depending on how big Aaron did it, Aaron said it's this big. Mine was this big. I had like the end credit of what the final was, and everybody was like, it would have been like when I tell you off camera, you're like, hey, why is this person? Are you serious? I was like,
Yeah.
hey,
So I'm like, y'all some pieces of fucking shit.
I'll be
I
alright.
hate y'all. Like and like people like the anime community, they are ruthless with spoilers,
Oh, yeah.
especially
They don't give a
Jujutsu
fuck.
Kaisen.
Can't be
like,
on Twitter or nothing like that.
Twitter
like
was
nothing.
bad.
So like.
Fucking
So like I would love to do more anime tattoos, but I also don't want somebody to reach out to me and be like, "Hey, I want to get a tattoo of fucking
Goku turning Super Saiyan Blue. That ain't even came out yet.
like what the fuck? Like I didn't even know this." And they might send me references, show me like a main character, like it might show fucking Deku
Little
from My Hero
manga.
like dying or some shit like that. And I'm like I don't want to see no shit like that. By the way, I'm not caught up on the manga of My Hero. I don't know if Deku dies. I'm not really sure. You know, I just made that up. But yeah, it's like I don't want to see that type of shit. So I'm like, I love it, but like I don't know. So like I'm gonna say anime, but like I'm gonna have to tell people like if you spoil me, I'm not about to do shit. Like I don't give a fuck. Like you could keep your fucking money because like you took my joy.
Right, I understand that. I feel that. All right, least favorite subject matter to tattoo.
I have a long list actually.
Oh, that's
Top 3 then.
So armbands, that's definitely number one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's fucking
pain,
annoying.
yeah.
It takes longer. It takes so long to just even stencil that bitch on. Like the last armband I did, like yeah, it took me like 2 hours to get the shit
And
straight.
it's hard to price it because we know how much work it is just to get it even started and then do it. But then people just think of it as like, oh, it's just a line.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not.
So it's like
Nah,
they want
nah,
it for cheap,
yeah, it's
but it's
like-
also just a long process
yeah,
too.
exactly. Yep.
Hate doing cover-ups of every kind. Like it don't even matter now. I used to do cover-ups, but I don't do that shit no more. Just because it takes the joy out of tattooing for me. Where I'm like, I'm not thinking about making a good tattoo. I'm thinking about making a good cover-up, or like I'm not thinking about making a good design.
Yeah, you're just trying to make the best design for this cover up.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely get what you mean.
I see it as a challenge. I like it as a challenge.
And
I don't like it as an
understand
art,
that,
but I love it as a challenge.
but it's like that's kind of the same mindset of people who like really hard games where they're like,
Yeah,
they
you
wanna-
know what? You
Fucking
said
Elden
it.
Ring.
You hit it right on the
like
head.
on some Elden Ring
Yeah,
shit.
I like
And
that.
I'm like,
Yeah, that's
no,
what it is.
I want
That's
my
a
game to
perfect
be
analogy.
easy.
So you beat Sekiro yet?
Beat Neil yet? I beat it twice.
I mean, you didn't beat it without my help though.
Oh, no. I got the proof. I got the receipt. So what happened was I would always play the game before we were playing the game together. So behind closed doors, I already played the boss. Then after a while, he called on. He said, "Hey, Bryce, why you like know all this stuff?" I was like, "I don't know." He said, "You played this game, did you?" Hey, man,
It's
you
like,
know,
why you
it
asking
take
all these
too long, man.
questions, bro?
Yeah. Because he'll be like, "Oh, it might be a monster there." Then all of a sudden, it's a monster there. There's no way you could tell it was a monster there. You know.
You just gonna play the game without the man? That's crazy.
Right.
See, that's some backdoor shit, man. That's crazy.
It's a hard game. It gotta be about me.
Nah, I need my games to be easy. I'm very much like a person where like I don't need my life to be hard. Honestly, life is already hard as it is. Like, let me make my life easy for me. You
The
know?
only reason why I play Sekiro is because I just stopped playing games for about 4 months.
But to piggyback on what you just said, you did that to Theo, but you always talk shit about me when I go do it.
You leave
It's okay when you do it.
You leave a promise. So his issue is, I'll make it quick. His issue is, he say, we're all going to buy the game at the same time. I was like, all right, cool. Don't nobody buy the game early. All right, let's say today's Sunday. He say, don't buy the game until Wednesday. He'll buy it on Monday. All of a sudden, you get on the game. Hey, man, why you level 20? I had time. Yeah, 48 hours, huh?
Hey, listen, sometimes you got to switch the schedule up,
He does it every time. It's no switching. It's a guaranteed he's going to do it.
So you just wanted the advantage immediately, huh?
Pretty much.
No. That happened like one time. Now.
He's in his head thinking about all the fucking games.
Right.
Pretty much. It's really games. Like, when it comes to games, I just say, you lying.
Think about the past, my boy. Now, here
Got
recently,
PTSD.
I will buy the game at the same time. Now, just so happen I have an off day. Oh yeah, I'm gonna continue to play.
See, this is what you need to do. You need to tell him like, oh nah, let's all buy the game on Monday, and then you need to buy the game. Like, all y'all need to buy the game on
See, the thing
Sunday
is,
or Saturday.
I honor my word, though. That's it.
Okay,
About his
man,
word.
of your fucking word. I love it. Yeah, and the last thing that I don't enjoy doing is snakes and dragons. Just because they're both. I mean, a dragon is just a mythical snake in my mind. And
Let the Japanese
Put some arms on that
guys
bit.
do that.
but like I don't know, something about it. Like we all have things that we're not like great at, and something about like creating the mouth and the intensity of the snake and dragon and making it fold. Something about that is really hard for me.
No,
I don't.
I mean, it's hard for everybody. I think honestly.
Yeah.
That's one of the hardest things to draw. So I get it. Shoot. Even when I do dragon tattoos and snakes, like it's like I'm happy when it's done, but I definitely be like, like I know this curve probably ain't realistic, but we gonna make it work today. Like
It works now.
yeah. But okay, if you could tattoo anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I always say this to everybody. Atlanta is like really like the best place to tattoo at. Like it really is. And also I just love Atlanta in general. I know a lot of people, they have a lot of shit to say about Atlanta where it's like, oh, it's too much traffic, or everybody is moving here, da 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 da. And I'm like, bro, I love Atlanta.
Yeah,
like,
I love Atlanta, man.
Since I moved here, I don't think that I'm ever gonna move.
Okay.
Like, this is really like the place I'm gonna be at for the rest of my life. And as far as a tattooing city, I don't feel. I might do guest spots at other places and feel like a black artist, because all of my clients will come to me and be like, "Oh, you're the first black person that's ever tattooed me," or like, "It's hard to find black artists," and da 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 da. So I'll feel black in other cities, but in Atlanta, I don't feel like a black artist. I just feel like an artist.
Yeah. Right.
So that's like, it's very comforting. I feel like we, as a city, don't be on no like, oh, black people can't get no color bullshit. Like it's very much like, like you could fucking throw a rock and hit a black artist in Atlanta. It's a very wonderful place to be as a
melting pot.
No.
yeah,
honestly. Absolutely.
So I really love it. And if I were to probably tattoo anywhere else outside of Atlanta, I'd probably go to like Brazil for kind of similar reasons. It's just very black country, like a black place. Like blackness is normalized there.
Yeah.
And I moved from Florida to be surrounded by blackness. And it's not like there's not like niggas in South Florida or anything like that, because there's like Jamaicans, Haitians, like African, everybody. But South Florida feels more like a melting pot where it's like everybody is, together, versus Atlanta feels black, and it feels like there's a united black community here that I very, very much like love and cherish, and very like I always like sing the praises of like just Atlanta and Atlanta artists and the Atlanta scene. It's
very unique. Like I said, it's very together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In some ways, like not every way, but.
There's,
always, yeah.
Whenever people get together, there's always
a little
shit
beef here and there, right?
as a collective,
Right. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me do one last question then. This fun. Hardest color to saturate for you in a tattoo?
Oh, it's easily blue. Like, yeah, that's
Hands down.
I always
Purple guy. I don't know.
Hands down.
really see. I don't know. Purple ain't bad for me, but it's like it's also has to be like
That's
a
how I feel about
warm
blue. Like
purple.
blue, like never really gives me trouble. Like it's
Really?
purple always gives me trouble.
I don't know what it is. Like just blues. Like I tell
putting
people
me
this all the
shit.
time. Like blue is really like my weakness. Like that's really I could do
I'll slow
every
the fuck
single
down.
color. People be surprised when
Preach.
like yellow shows up well on like the black people I tattooed on, and I'm like nah, I just put that bitch in. You know.
As soon as I pull it out, I'll be like, I fucking hate you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Blue get on my nerve.
Yeah, I don't know. It just like, especially like the light blues. Like, I just kind of try to avoid that
Nah,
in general.
Oh, yeah, no, light blues is hard. Now, if you get like, I say like, I got like a peacock blue over there. That's pretty easy. But anything like lighter than that, it's like, all right,
Yeah,
buckle up, buttercup.
yeah. Like, I think the only blue that I actually like to use is Solids. I think it's True Blue or Nice Blue. One of the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice blue.
Right here.
Yeah. That's probably the only blue that gives me like no trouble at all. But I don't know what it is because like I see other people do blue and just be like, oh yeah, you pack that shit in there, it's healed up nicely, it's looking great, But like when I do it, it's like I'm like, damn,
Be like,
I'm like, do I
to
need to
bleed.
quit tattooing? Like what the fuck? Like
I'm
what's
about to
happening?
bleed extra on you too. It's like, bro, you weren't even bleeding like whatever. I don't even pack it in hard.
Shit's crazy.
All right, so before we end the episode, you got any like it could be advice or just some statement you want to put out or anything ending closing statement?
Just be a normal person. Cause like I said, I think that the reason that I have the success that I have today is because of the support of just other artists, my clients, just people who just fuck with me. And I don't do nothing special. I just try to be nice to everybody. I try to, be of help to like my community, my people, like black people in general. And I'm just not an asshole. Like I'm just a regular fucking person. And I don't think that enough people are just cool.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, absolutely. Nah, that's well said. Like, just be cool, just be a good person.
Yeah.
It's that simple. But until it's not.
Heard it multiple
Right.
times. Heard it
But,
multiple times.
But yeah, again, thank you for coming on, spending time with us, man. Like we had a great time talking to you, picking your brain a bit. Hopefully, we get to do it again in the future.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
for sure. It's most definitely gonna
Oh,
happen.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm always here. Like, listen, like I said, I'm a fan. So like I've been loving y'all podcast from the jump.
Man, we appreciate that. Like that support, what keeps us pushing and doing it. So again, thank you. We're a big fan of your work. And peace. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.